Here we go again with another Bitcoin update video brought to you by the Grap YouTube channel. Last week was really insane. This week has been absolutely incredible. Perhaps next week will be less crazy. Today, there is some good news from the industry. You just must have it. That's okay. Yes, I agree. These coins have obviously fallen to a low enough level to be seen. On top of that, Bitcoin's price can fall considerably lower. However, it is not essential. It did, in fact, re-enter the area of support. In terms of microstructure, it is possible that one additional low is necessary. No bottom will be declared until we break above resistance. As I mentioned yesterday, there is a resistance area between 63,730 and 66,230 and 66,230. This is mostly unchanged. For the present small rise in this micro resistance area is crucial. What could be done with a microwave oven? In addition, it is our usual preference for wave 4 to remain below the 50% FIP level, as you are probably aware. My guess is that something else is at play if that's the case. At yesterday's low, I told you that the area is likely to see a bounce. It is known to everyone who follows us on Twitter or the X network. About 9 hours have passed since then. Additionally, you are welcome to follow us here if you are interested. Ensure that you utilize the correct username, the Fusion profile. It is typical to encounter impersonators. Where did I put my writing? I said that wave 5 of 3 might be over when the price reached the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement at this low position. If a corrective rally begins from this point, it should halt in the micro resistance zone between 63,730 and 66,230. There seems to be just one more low left in wave 5 of C. This basically indicates that in the event that the gathering is beneficial, so kindly follow us without hesitation. Now I will go back to the chart. Remember to follow our Twitter account once again. All right, let's go back to the graph. Another way of putting it is that the idea is that here, the market sell-off, often known as wave C, is ongoing. Nothing out of the norm has transpired because the Bitcoin chart support region is clearly defined. Truthfully, the Bitcoin chart doesn't show anything out of the ordinary. There is non-existence. There was something strange about it. I think we will witness a comeback once this correction is finished, and the market is still optimistic. Although these cryptocurrency sell-offs were a bit more rare, numerous support points remained intact. Some shifted to using alternatives. However, the majority still maintains a structure that could be hopeful as of right now. True, some have fallen considerably farther. Unfortunately, most altcoins are still displaying a bullish structure, even though the sell-off was extraordinary but not uncommon. It appears that we are currently in the midst of a 5-wave decline beginning with wave C. I think this upswing is a correction. I will describe the 5 waves that make up a C wave. Do not rule out the possibility that a WXY rather than an ABC may occur if such a decline were to be a Y wave. That, however, is not predictable. The 6th was subsequently brought up by someone. Wave was absent during the previous instance. Risk and return are the 2 most important factors. That is the key difference between analytical trading methods and clever trading tactics. Let me clarify, I'm not predicting the 5th wave's arrival. Whatever the case may be, I will advise you accordingly so long as resistance continues. One more low should come our way. We are cognizant, however, that such a structure can always transform into a WXY, at which time the low might already have happened, according to WXY diagrams. Not as usual though, they are not highly predictable, but obviously common enough to be considered. Therefore, you need to know the trend's most probable feature at all times. Thus, we have the 3rd wave. The 3rd wave has likely passed. So it's just the icing on the cake, or the 5th wave, which could yet happen. Depending on the severity of the prior sell-off, that may not always work, but in some cases it does. Indeed, time will tell. I have provided you with the resistance area so that we can monitor it. A common target for the C wave is 60,140, but this wave's 100% extension points to something else entirely. That level will certainly be observed by me today. We can definitely do the lowest. In some cases, yes. Actually, there's no need for anything. The price reduced to an acceptable level. Clearly, our daily period inventory is not oversold at this time. The cryptocurrency known as Bitcoin is not. We have alternative cryptocurrencies. Hence, a little positive bounce is encouraging. The charts need my attention so that I can demonstrate whether these 5 waves have already turned positive or negative. But I think cryptocurrencies will recover more than Bitcoin in the next upswing since they are poised to start a 3rd wave. Generally speaking anyway. A few of them. On this point, I am not qualified to make broad statements. But the idea is that we need to find out if the low has already happened by looking at the nanostructure closely. I don't see how we can pull that off. We can only achieve this by keeping an eye out for a potential upward 5-wave movement. When we see that, it's incredible. Still, I perceive this as a 3-pronged assault. A 3-wave maneuver seems more appropriate, in my opinion. Positive, understood, but I'll give it some thought. At this point, I can see how this could transform into a triangle. That could happen today, all right. Due to their malleability, triangles present unique challenges. But I can't help but wonder if this, since the price seems to be trying to construct lower highs and higher lows, it may form an Elliott wave triangle here and then break out to the opposite side of the wave. Just something to keep in mind then. For the time being, it is preferable to make one more low below resistance, regardless of the pattern that may emerge. This is the easiest option, not because I prefer it, but because it satisfies the needs of the market. Assuming the bulls can overcome opposition, a bottom might be in the works. Following that, we might already be on our way to following the 5th wave's upward surge. But first things first, Bitcoin has to prove its worth by breaking over resistance. Up until then, the next low might be somewhere around 57,500 or 60,140. In case it's needed, the market can use the entire support area. Indeed, albeit it seems improbable at the moment, Bitcoin is not going to try to achieve the 50% FIP mark. Nonetheless, it seems like the upper half was put to the test at some point. It might be as low as 57,500 or 60,140 if there's really just one more low. This concludes my Bitcoin update. Hopefully I appreciate the update. Like, comment, and subscribe if that's the case. Grapcoin is greatly appreciated. So long.